PTC Cast episode 5.
Five. Yeah.
5. Thank you all for tuning in and checking it out. Today, we're going to talk gym pet peeves.
Get the blood boiling.
Etiquette, yeah, rile you up a little bit. So I have one that I think everybody has, and that's...
It better not be peg popping, man.
When people do that.
I'll walk out of this podcast right now.
Hop up off the bench, do a little dance, and then good to go.
Yeah, man. Make everybody jealous.
No. You know what really drives me nuts?
What's up?
And it makes me really sad. So at the gym I'm training at right now, there's a really sweet older woman there who she's probably 100 pounds, maybe in her late 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a machine row that she likes to use, and it's plate loaded.
Mm-hmm.
Plate loaded machine row.
Yeah.
People will leave a 45 on each side.
Aww.
And I get a courtesy plate on like a leg press or a hack squat.
Yeah.
But people will leave a 45-pound plate on each side of the row.
Yeah.
And so she people will help her out, but I've seen her, across the gym before I can get to her and try to help her. She'll just like slide the weight off and like move her toes real quick to try to keep them from like breaking her toes. But it's a 45-pound plate.
She can't.
Yeah, because it weighs like half that she does. So like,
damn.
I don't know, man. Like, you got to put your stuff back because you don't realize how you inconvenience other people. Not from like an annoyance standpoint, but like she's trying to use the machine and she's going to break her toes trying to take the plates off.
But even at, with the annoyance standpoint, you have people working there. And if you're not re-racking your weights, then even if there's not an old lady, struggling to take it off,
sure,
you're still making them take it off, even though it is their job,
sure,
which goes back to gym etiquette. Like, just pick up your weights, man.
Well, I just feel like it's one of those things where it's like, you got to clean up after yourself. It's like the shopping cart thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it takes you no time. It's a convenience thing. It's for the other person.
I used to be that guy. You talking about
you wouldn't put the shopping cart back?
Yeah, like just popping the shopping cart up and putting it on the curb.
You did that?
Hell yeah, man.
Bro.
Oh, come on, man.
That's terrible. Are you kidding me?
Now I never do it. Because I'm like, why did I used to do that before? Like, literally the thing's right there.
Yeah.
It would make everybody's lives like so much easier if I just went and put it there.
Yeah, it takes like 2 seconds, man.
I know, but...
Shame on you, bro.
Convenience sake, bro. And just not giving that.
Yeah, but then you inconvenience everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. I started thinking about everybody else.
Yeah. Okay, but so gym pet peeves. One that's like interesting to me that some people have that I don't really have is dropping weight.
Wait. You do like or you don't like dropping weight?
I don't mind it too much.
Uh-huh.
I think some people intentively do it like to get some eyes, and I think that's different.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But
if it's like intentional,
yeah,
then you're an asshole.
Yeah, for sure, man. But it's like, a 405 deadlift probably isn't going to be quiet.
Yeah, no.
A 500-pound deadlift probably isn't going to be quiet. What I will say, the gym that I'm training at it's a commercial gym, and there's some people who do Olympic lifts there, and I think that's a little out of place, maybe.
I think so too.
Especially because it's a second-story gym, so you got people, snatch, overhead, clean and jerk, whatever, and then they're dumping the bar.
Honestly, I think that's not okay.
Yeah, but the thing is it's like, how do you get it down safely? You don't. So it's, you don't want to say go train somewhere else, dude, but you're in the wrong place for sure.
Yeah, I think depending on what sport you're in, even if you don't do it, like competitively and you're doing it just for fun, you should have a weight room or a gym that actually correlates with that sport. Like,
sure.
I'm not going to be going to LA Fitness, or I guess that even may be fine, but I'm not going to be going to some kind of high-end commercial gym to go squat 800 plus pounds or deadlift 700 plus pounds. Right. It doesn't make any sense. It would be very out of that environment. Like, imagine seeing me in the corner of your gym sniffing ammonia, cursing, just like slamming weights and all of that crap. It wouldn't make any sense. It would make everybody else uncomfortable. Yeah. And it's loud and it's annoying. Yeah,
it's just matching your training environment, and it's an etiquette thing, I think. And so like I make my fair share. We just listened to Lost Funko. I make my fair share of noise in the gym, but it's one of those things where it's like you have to keep in mind the population, right? You got to know where you are.
Yeah, the type of people that are there.
100%, yeah, because it's like, it's everybody should be able to train the way they want to, man. But if you're,
I think so.
If you're someone who's super uncomfortable with, being in a hardcore gym and you come to a specific gym for a certain reason, and then everybody else is kind of, dropping weights, clanging and banging, maybe you're in the wrong place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you gotta keep that in mind when you're looking for your gym, like you said. You know, and so what's interesting to me is I had mentioned the Olympic lifts happening at the commercial gym I'm at, and what's just like funny to me is, again, everyone can train whatever way they want, man, but it's interesting because it's like you're talking about Olympic weightlifting, which almost I wouldn't even consider that the same thing as like going to the gym and doing dumbbell press and pull-ups. And,
it's literally
not. It's way different. Yeah, and so it's just like, you wouldn't go to Planet Fitness and train shot put or train fucking, high jump. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not in the right.
Real quick, do y'all have like that rubber flooring?
So they have there's like squat rack,
just like
deadlift platforms, yeah, but they're actually pretty worn down. But so what's interesting is actually a funny story. The gym is on a second floor.
Yeah.
And underneath is a nail salon.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'd be so pissed off.
Yeah, so the guy who does the Olympic lifts in there dropped the bar one day, phone rings in the gym office. Manager picks up, puts the phone down. We just broke a chandelier. Yeah.
Really?
Which, like, yeah, man, you think about it, and it's like...
And that could injure people downstairs, Yeah,
it's
like, imagine
dangerous.
if that fell on somebody.
Yeah, it's pretty dangerous.
Hell yeah.
Which, so, I don't know.
Go train at another gym.
Well, I'm just saying, man, it's like...
If you're watching this podcast, we're not talking about you.
Yeah. But, no, I'm just saying, it's like, you got 300 pounds in the air, and let's say you're, whatever, 6 foot. You got 300 pounds over your head, and then you dump it.
That's going to be loud,
and on the second floor. Yeah, man.
It's going to be loud, and it's going to mess things up.
Yeah, for sure. So,
yeah, heck no. Even, I don't know, like, I work out at Destination Dallas, and we have a strongman section, and in those we have, or in that section we have, I don't know what they're called, but they're like the big 45-pound wheels that you put on deadlift, on, a bar to deadlift.
Oh, not an axle, but a...
yeah, it's not.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even at Destination Dallas with the blaring music and people cursing and yelling and all of that, like, that is the most annoying sound to me.
Really?
It seriously sounds like somebody's grabbing two pans and just like slamming them together. Yeah. And the whole gym hears it.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine being at a freaking commercial gym hearing
that.
Yeah, hearing something like that, or the 300-pound being thrown over the head, anything like that. Like that's what I compare it to. The 300-pound CrossFit being thrown down. I compare that to this loud ass two pans slamming together.
Right.
It's just annoying. Get out of my gym. No.
Well, it's just so funny because it's like it's all, and this kind of goes back to Olympic weightlifting kind of being a different thing. Is it's like, training hard is kind of one thing, but it's almost like the intensity of your training kind of has to, I don't want to say match the gym you're at, but it's like you're going to stick out like a sore thumb and get crazy looks if you're an IFBB pro bodybuilder at Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
Or if you're, maybe someone who's brand new starting out and you're at Destination Dallas, which there's nothing wrong with. You can train hard at any size, any fitness level or whatever, but it's like you got to be ready to get those eyes.
Yeah, there's this deadlifter. His name is Evan Carden.
Shout out to Evan Carden.
Yeah, I believe that's his last name. Strong. He's a vegan deadlifter, actually.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Why you say it like that? Vegans can be strong, right?
Because get this dude like deadlifts like 860 something as a vegan, and I don't know. I feel like that's freaking amazing.
How much do you weigh?
2 something. He's not big. That's like incredible. He's probably like 220, maybe 240.
240 is big when you're $160, but go on.
Yeah, but. Is it? Wait, I'm a $160.
I'm a $160. You're talking about 240.
Oh, $160. Oh, yeah.
But come on, that's a big guy to me.
Yeah, he's vegan. But there's a video online where he's deadlifting like 760 something, and he's one of those guys that you're like, yo,
get a little hyped
or whatever.
Up,
yeah. But he's in a commercial gym.
Oh, where's he at?
I don't know what commercial gym. It looks like an LA Fitness or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's doing it on the little box thing. Right here? Yeah, I'll roll it. I'll roll it. Right. But he picks it up, and like with all the adrenaline, he does this thing where he sticks his tongue out at the top of the deadlift. And he threw it down, and he goes, "No, fuck!" And he just like completely freaks out. and this old man from the gym was like, "Hey!"
Yeah.
And it's just so freaking
So
hilarious.
the whole gym just freeze frames.
But that's what it is. Like, what do you do? What are you doing at a
Well,
commercial gym?
I mean, you've seen videos of guys deadlifting and even not even a commercial gym, just like a normal mom and pop gym, and like I don't know if you remember that one video went viral, but literally in the middle of the guy's deadlift set, some random older guy comes up and like kicks the bar out of his hand. It's crazy, yeah.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Dude,
I'm trying to find that and reel that here, but
that was messed up.
I'm just saying, yeah. So it's one of those things.
He literally,
like,
where he put his foot on the bar and like pushed it down.
And so I get it. Like you might be pissed off that the guy's making noise in a commercial gym or a smaller gym or whatever you want to call it. But it's like, dude, that's dangerous, man. Guy's got like several hundred pounds in his hand,
dude. Kicking whatever that dude did, like pushing the bar out of that guy's hand while he's deadlifting. He could have fucked his back up. Like he could have done, whatever. And that's dangerous, man.
It's just it's dangerous.
That's scary.
So one of my really big pet peeves, and it seems to always be like a noise or attention thing. I think for most people, either that or not racking your weights. But there's I'm going to call it a machine at the gym that I'm at. And it's it's like a half circle, right? And it's half of a tire. People do tire flips, right? Yeah. And so you flip it over, and then it lands on the side. And then
it's stationary.
Yep. And then you go to the other side, and you flip it over, and dude, I swear, every time someone flicks it, it just boom, and then they flick it, boom, and people do it like back and forth, So it'll just be like a solid minute of just bang, bang, bang. Yeah. That's the shit that drives me nuts, man.
That doesn't sound like it would drive me nuts, man.
Well, and I think the biggest reason I think for me, the biggest reason it does is when I'm on the gym floor, I'm constantly in communication with someone.
Wait, is this like when you're training or when you're personal training?
I'm just talking about like a gym environment, man. Just being in the gym, like a standard pet peeve. And so like if someone else is over there, flipping the tire back and forth, and I'm sitting there trying to like cue someone or explain an exercise, and there's like a bomb going off every 2 seconds.
Yeah, I thought you meant, while you're working out, not while you're training. So no. That makes sense because you're trying to communicate and it can't be, too loud. But I was like, dude, put your earphones in. Yeah. If you're working out and you're hearing that stuff.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a fair point.
As long as it's not high pitch.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Again, it's just one of those things where it's like everybody should be able to train how they want, train where they want, but like you gotta read the room. You gotta have some social cues there.
Mm-hmm. I don't have a lot of pet peeves when it comes to the gym, just because I don't know. I don't get pissed off really easily. But one pet peeve is when people are, they go to the weight room with their crew or whatever. It's usually like a bunch of young guys, and they're hovering over like the free weight dumbbell section. Yep. And just taking pictures and stuff like that. Yep. Like that shit pisses me off just because they're hovering in front of like 20, 30 dumbbells. Right. And you got to like sift through them in order to get what you need.
Well, in that group of people, it's usually social hour too, right?
Yeah.
If it's usually like a group of younger guys and they're sitting around one spot. There was a group of younger guys at the gym last night that were just sitting around deadlift platform, and it's like...
See, I guess I'm okay with that because that's like your area.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. It's
like you're not hovering around things that other people can use.
Yeah, but if everybody's trying to use the dumbbells and you're standing in front of all of them and taking pics for the gram.
Yeah, it's like, dude, get out of the way. One other thing. No, so forget that last one. This is my pet peeve. Okay. If I'm at the gym and you're sitting there trying to have a conversation with me and you're sitting there talking and talking and talking as if it is social hour, dude, I do not like that.
I'll cut you off, man. I'll put a headphone in. I'll nod.
That's what
you know
I tell
what I mean. I try not to be rude, but like, I don't know, man. Time is finite. Like, it's not social hour for some of us, so you gotta build that boundary.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure, obviously, other people don't think like us. The fact that we're on a mission when it comes to the gym.
Sure.
But like, I don't know. I feel like those people should be able to have like some kind of social cues.
Well,
like, dude.
Yeah. And I just feel like you have to be okay with being like, hey man, I gotta keep moving. I feel like you just gotta be okay with that. But I think for some people, like, it is social hour, man, because like we've talked about in podcasts before, it's a community. You see the same people every day, and there's nothing wrong with having that conversation with them. But like, you gotta if somebody's headphones are in and their head's down and they're not trying to make eye contact with you, it's probably a sign not to have a conversation with that person.
Yeah, man.
It's the same reason why you don't hit on a girl in the gym, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're usually in there trying to get their work done, and you gotta leave them be, man. You gotta leave people be when they're trying to get their stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just,
and it sucks because usually when I meet people like the first two times, then I will sit there and talk to them just because I'm trying to be friendly or whatever, and I'm genuinely wanting to have a conversation with them. But when it's like the 4th, 5th time that I see them at the gym and they want to have these long ass conversations, it sucks when I have to put in the earbuds and kind of like obviously I'll say what's up to them, but just saying what's up and then putting it right in like that sucks and it feels shitty. But,
so if I'm not the one lifting and I'm trying to have a conversation with someone, like maybe I'm just between clients or something, I always like leave it up to that person to continue the conversation. So I'll smile and wave, or I'll be like, "What's up, man?" And then like if they keep moving, they keep moving. Usually people will acknowledge you back,
Mm-hmm.
But like sometimes people are like, in the grit of it, and it's like I'm not even gonna fist bump you, man. Like I'm just gonna let you do your thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and you can usually tell because they look all crazy.
For some people, man, I made an Instagram poll the other day, and it was, is training emotional for you or is it just fun? And when I say emotional, I just mean like, are you getting, I think the options were like getting out your demons or just here to have fun. And it was interesting, right? Because the first like 10, 15 responses were all getting out your demons, but then the next 10 to 15 were all like just here to have fun. So for people working out and resistance training and health and wellness, it's a different thing for different people. Some people describe it as therapy, whereas other people are just there to check a box, to say that they did, which there's nothing wrong with it being sitting on the couch. But I think,
which one is it for you?
For me, it's definitely getting out demons, man.
Getting
for
out
sure.
demons.
Now I have my fair share of workouts where like I'm just kind of having fun, and that's actually what I've been doing a lot recently. But no, there's some days, man, where it's like every set I need to find a very intense, heavy song, or like I gotta keep my head down, keep the garage door closed, like I'm not talking to anyone. But there's some workouts where it's like, man, I'm taking Instagram videos between sets, and I'm kind of shooting the shit, and I'm listening to nothing too serious and just having fun. And what's interesting is I found that it actually doesn't really change my output. Like, I think if I was powerlifting or doing like a 1 rep, maybe something like that, it would change. But no, I do enjoy just like going in there and having some fun. But I would say like over the last, 10 years, I would say maybe 90% of my workouts have been pretty emotional.
Got you. I think it's just as long as you're able to flip that switch. Like, I know when I first started powerlifting, I always had that switch on, so I was always intense.
Dude, and the thing is with that, I didn't mean to cut you off, I'm sorry, but the thing is with that, man, is it's like, it's exhausting.
That's what I was about to say. It's so exhausting.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of mental energy, and, there's things that you just can't control. And if you're relying on staying intense, the whole time, and if you get sidetracked at all, then it's gone.
Yeah.
Then, that's a problem because, at the end of the day, some people may come up and talk to you, or something simple like your phone dying or your earbuds dying, and you're like,
throws it through a loop.
Yeah, there goes my music.
It's funny you say that because I found when it's an emotional workout, and then you have, even if it's something as simple as like getting a phone call or a text from a client or something, and I didn't have my phone off or didn't keep my phone away from me, and then that can throw me through a loop. Whereas like if I'm just there to have fun, and and when I say having fun, man, like I'm still training hard, but it's literally like the mood.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's the mood. And so like when the mood is something that's a little bit more aggressive, and I'm not going to say dark because it's a little too edgy, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when it's that, it's hard to come back from that, like,
because it's like a all-in thing. Like
that's
like when it works amazing, but when it doesn't, it comes from like here, just boom, and it just drops, and then you're sitting there like having a mental battle with yourself, trying to like get you back on that intensity level. And
so I know I'm giving you like 3 clips to edit in now, but like the thing that happened with Guy Cisterno, I don't know how to say his name. Not too long ago, but like, it was, he's sitting there hack squatting, training his ass off, like intense, and just that group of guys, one of all of our pet peeves, like right in front of him. And so like, for me, I think he was in the wrong.
I think he was in the wrong
because
too.
it's a public gym. You pay the same fee. Like
Yeah.
you're not anything special, man. You're a professional bodybuilder. I get it, but like go to a private gym if that's gonna bug you. But regardless, like point being, like if he hadn't have been in that like this is do or die like intent, you know, if he hadn't have been that, like I'm sure he could have came back from that or avoided that.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, that's the switch on and off. You know, during your set, it makes sense for you to be all in and out, but like in between sets, you know, you need to learn how to turn it off. When it comes to Guy, I'm not even going to attempt to say his last name. Dude, get some noise canceling earbuds.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean,
close your eyes, connect to your muscles.
Yeah, because I feel like if, you know, something like that is distracting you during your set, then that's your fault.
Yeah, you're not
like, you're not focused enough.
Yeah.
You know, like if they're standing literally right in front of you and they're in your line of vision, that makes sense. Because I know, like, there's been a lot of times when I'm squatting and I'm about to do heavy weight. There's actually this one time which I actually apologized to the guys that I said it to afterwards.
Yeah.
I was going for a max, and there's these two probably like 20-year-olds standing right in front of me, just watching me, you know, because it's a lot of weight. And I told them, like, hey, move. And I guess, you know, they wanted to, you know, be the tough guy, you know, like, who you think you... So I told them, you know, get the fuck out the way or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, they got out of the way, and then I squatted the weight. But, you know, after when I was able to flip that switch, you know, I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to talk to you that way. Like, you know, I just had all that adrenaline. Yeah. I really apologize. It's not right for me to talk to you that way. But
see, on the flip side of that, like, I don't really have a strong opinion in either case, because in my opinion, like, it's gym etiquette to get out of that person's way.
Yeah, like,
especially
they were literally...
if there's 800 pounds on your back.
Yeah, they were sitting there staring, like, standing in front of me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like 10 feet away, but they were standing right in front of me, right in my line of vision. Mm-hmm. And literally both of them were staring right at me
so,
while I was... And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to, you know...
So, so it's good that you apologize, but yeah, I don't know, like, grilling them, it's, in my opinion, it's like you're just a good person if you get out of the way and you pay attention, you know? It's like, you don't and it's like when people walk across the street versus like a slow walk if you're like in the car waiting on them versus like a power walk. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man, you could just be a little more conscious or courteous, you know?
Yeah, like, you know what you're doing. Well, most of the time you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know? And I know in a couple cases where they do stand in front of me, like, they just don't know that, you know, I'm standing that way. And I'll tell them, like, hey, do you mind moving? And, you know, they'll move out of the way. Yeah. But going back to the switch flipping, I noticed that my best workouts has actually been when I'm having fun.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and when I'm able to flip that switch.
Oh, for sure.
Because in between the sets, I'm able to completely chill out and have like normal conversations with people and, you know, laugh and all of that, and be completely unfocused. And then whenever I do need to, you know, flip that switch, it's almost like I had a energy reserve, just waiting for me to pull on. And I was able to focus like almost instantly. Whenever I had those periods of, you know, just not focusing and just chilling out. So if you have issues with you know, being intense or whatever throughout like your whole workout, just try chilling in between your set. Actually, George Lehman, he recommended doing this, and I actually did this for a while. I don't need it anymore because I'm able to chill in between sets, but to put on soft music in between your sets.
Really?
Yeah, just to completely chill out. I would put on like lo-fi and stuff, or like if you are, you know, wanting to stay in the depressed mode just to stay focused or whatever.
Sure.
A lot of people like that. Listen to like XXXTentacion or something like that.
Sure.
You know, something slow, keep you in your emotions, but you're not expelling like a bunch of adrenaline.
Whenever I went to Tampa to do a muscle camp under Ben Pekulski, he was saying like one of his big things that was kind of a paradigm shift in his training was going from, you know, listening to like the hard music of, I forget what he said. It was some kind of like dad rock kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. But you said dad rock?
Yeah. You know, like whatever, like the 80s rock, 90s rock, you know, stuff like that. Yeah. But regardless, like, and now it's very like, it's like classical music. And so it's just interesting because it's like, man.
He's a psycho.
Well, it's just interesting, man, because like, you know, when I was like 16 or 17, dude, my entire workout playlist, and it still is for the emotional stuff, but it was like, it's nothing but like Rob Bailey, DMX, like
Yeah, just hardcore.
Like, the most like heavy hitting, like hard stuff, but like my fun workouts that are more like Lil Uzi Vert or like you know, just stuff that's like fun and not too serious. Like
man,
it's definitely
there's a beauty to that stuff.
And what I found too, like on the topic of like flipping that switch is, dude, even on the emotional workouts where I'm sitting there and I'm looking for a specific song and that's my entire rest period is finding the song for the next set, you know, but like even in those workouts, regardless of whatever's playing in my headphones, the second the set starts, I don't know what the fuck's going on except for that set.
Amen. That is so true. You don't remember anything
except for what's and I couldn't tell you. Like, it's the weirdest thing, and I don't know if it's just like because I try to be so cognizant of what's going on and paying attention to the movement pattern, you know, in my realm or in your realm, where it's like there's 800 pounds on my back, like I can't really pay attention to what's going on in my ears. But like, it's super interesting just like spending so much time trying to get that one song, or like, you know,
I wonder if that's to bring us in, you know, or to get us focused.
Yeah.
You know, like to get us to that level of extreme focus.
Yeah.
And then once we're at that level, like everything's just gone.
Yeah.
And that's for people like us who, you know, have
I think it just
for a while.
I think it just doesn't matter at that point.
Exactly. It just stops mattering.
Yeah,
because we're already there.
Yeah, because you're focused, you're dialed in, you know, and so maybe it is a focus thing. But to get back to our original topics of gym pet peeves, here's a big one that I have that maybe is a little bit selfish.
Okay.
So I pay a pretty hefty chunk of change to train at the gym that I train at, because I pay rent. They don't take a percentage. And
that's really cool.
Sometimes it's nice. Sometimes my clients are going through a superset or a circuit, and what I do is I'll place like my clipboard somewhere to kind of claim a spot. I have no problem with somebody working in, but I do have a problem with somebody moving it. Yeah. When somebody moves it and doesn't say anything and just takes it. And so maybe that's a little selfish thing, but like the other day I had a client on a superset and he was going pec deck, and then he's going cable lateral raise. Cable lateral raise, pec deck.
Are they close to each other?
Dude, in this gym, like they're 5 steps away.
Okay.
Super close. Super close. And we're right back and forth. And it was hilarious because I set my clipboard on the pec deck, because that's the one that usually gets taken up. Yep. So again, like I would always let somebody work in, that's totally fine. But in the middle of my client's cable lateral raise set, and like a client set is just as important as my own set. Yeah. In that the building could be on fire and I wouldn't know if somebody's in the middle of a set. Like it is. Yeah, man. And the dude taps me on the back and says, "Hey, you forgot this. It's my clipboard."
Oh, that moment.
And I said, "Thank you." And I took it back and I looked at my client. His name's Steve. He's a real funny guy.
How pissed off were you, man?
Dude, he just started laughing because he could like he knew. And I was like, dude, maybe I'm kind of a brat. You know, it is what it is. I want my clients to be able to train the way they need to train. Yeah. But dude, if he would have been like, "Hey man, can I hop in with you guys?" Or like, you know, if he would have been like, "Hey," even if
so when he said, "Hey, you forgot this," do you think it was like, "Hey, I'm using this machine, take this"?
That's exactly what it was.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because he handed me it and then he went and hopped on it.
Oh,
and it would have been fine. It would have been. It was just the approach, maybe. Maybe it was that Steve was in the middle of a set. I don't know, man. But I was just
that would piss me off too.
Yeah, and it was just like it was a hard exhale.
I could tell. It looks like you got really pissed off when you said that, bro.
Yeah. Well, because I'm not. And dude, I really like.
It's like you just relived that moment.
I really don't think I have that short of a fuse, but like it's stuff like that where it's like, you know, maybe I'm asking too much to read the room to figure it out a little bit. Especially, dude, it was dead gym in there. There's probably 5 other people in there besides me, my client, and the guy who handed me my clipboard. So I don't know. There's just, and I don't. Again, that might be a selfish one, but I was just like, man.
You're happy that
we're in the middle of a set. Like the clipboard was sitting there. Like we'll be right back there. I'm 10 feet away. I'm the only guy in the gym that carries a clipboard. You see me every day. You know.
I'd be that guy to move that clipboard.
See, bro.
100%. And I wouldn't say shit either.
Yeah, bro.
Like I would just throw it to the side.
Even sometimes, dude. Sometimes if it's like really busy in the gym, I'll take my shoes off and put them somewhere, or like I'll put a hat somewhere or something. Because again, I have zero problem with somebody working in, but it's like, hey, if we're trying to move at a certain pace, you know, I'm fine. I can call an audible. It's cool if we need to rest a little bit so you can get a set in, but don't just come snagging it. And I'm not taking up. Yeah. I'm never taking up more than 2 spots.
See, and I guess for me, it depends on like what it is that other people are using. Whenever they put something there, that I'm like, okay, let me not move it. Like if it's, And also what exercise, like if it's a squat rack or a deadlift platform or something like that, or even like a leg press machine and they have like their bag there or even like a gallon of water sitting on there, then all right, I'm not going to touch it. But if it's like
something small like that,
a lat pull down machine or, you know, some kind of machine, if they're not there, then I'm taking it.
But the etiquette is to figure out whose it is and be like, hey,
that's what I was about to say though. I do look around first and, you know, I make eye contact with whoever that I think is there. And, you know, I'll point, I'll be like, hey, like, is it cool? Or something like that. 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, yeah,
sure,
it's good. You know, sometimes they'll be like, oh, no, I'm about to, and I'm like, go, whatever.
Like,
I'll just hop to the next one.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So.
Damn, dude. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's funny to me.
One other pet peeve that I have, and I don't know what kind of pet peeve this is because it's so silly. It literally pisses me off to see people not, to see like my group of people not working out.
What do you mean?
So
like socializing? It bothers you if other people are socializing?
Yeah, if they're sitting there like talking for, you know, 15 minutes straight.
It only bugs me if they're taking up a space.
Even if they're not taking up a space, like it'll literally bug me. Like I'll be thinking, what are they doing?
Like, why aren't you here?
Like I'll start getting unfocused, which is so stupid.
Yeah.
It's the silliest thing ever.
Yeah.
But I'll get unfocused and I'll be like, what's the point of even being here? Like, why are you sitting there just socializing and talking? Like you, or when, you know, somebody there is doing like one exercise. Yeah. And then I'll be like, hey, so what do you got left? And be like, oh, I'm gonna go hit, 10 minutes of cardio and then going home. That pisses me off. Yeah. I don't know why. Like I'll grit my teeth and I'll be like, bro, you have all of this that you could be doing. Yeah. And then they'll bitch about they're not where they want to be. Yep. And I'll tell them, I'm like, well, dude, you just did, one exercise. Like you could be doing this, this, and this. And they're like, oh, well, my knee's a little bit iffy. I'm like, okay, do this, and this, light. Yeah. And don't complain about not being able to get work.
It's the difference between like actually going into the gym and training and just checking the box that you went to the gym.
That's what it is. What I mean? Yeah, I guess that's what it is.
One that really bugs me, and this might be more of a commercial gym thing, is when people, I have no problem if you're doing a lot of sets on a machine or whatever, but if you're sitting there on the seated leg curl or the leg press or something and you're texting between sets or you're checking Facebook or whatever, you got to at least get off the machine so somebody knows they can hop in with you. Yeah. Yeah. And I never have a problem, and maybe it's just because I work in a gym and I, have been in a gym for a while. I have no problem with ever being like, hey man, how many sets you got left? Or like kind of telling someone, hey, come on. Mm-hmm. But, I have clients who, I'll write them a third workout or a fourth workout to do in the week. And, they're like, I couldn't get to that one because someone was sitting on it the whole time. Because some people don't quite have that confidence or whatever you call it to go up and especially if it's, like a woman who's newer in the gym and then it's like some big meathead or something, you know what I mean? It's a different scenario, but like, it's just, it drives me nuts because it's just a courtesy thing, man. It's like, if you're going to sit there and play on your phone, like at least step off the machine so someone feels comfortable enough to be like, hey, can I hop in with you?
Yeah. I never thought about, stepping off the machine, but that definitely would make it easier for other people to ask. Yeah. And I don't think, a lot of people have problems with people working in. Maybe with like the whole COVID thing, some people may have problems, but
yeah. See, I don't even think so, unless it's like a plate-loaded leg press or something like that.
Oh, yeah. If it's, I'm talking about strictly
like a pen, for sure. Which like is total. I mean, or even just a bench, like, which I think is totally fine and not a big deal. But
if somebody, I guess this is because in my head, like the main lifts are bench, squat, and deadlift as a power lifter. Sure. If somebody asks me how many sets that I have on bench, squat, or deadlift, like, I tell them, dude, like, you're not getting it.
It'll be a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. This one dude asked me on what's today? Friday. Monday. Asked me on Monday while I was deadlifting. I had like 700 pounds on the bar. He goes, he was looking at me like I was, focused, but I was like, he's not.
He's trying to get you to take your.
Yeah. So I looked at him. I go, what? And he goes, how many sets do you have?
All of them.
I go, dude.
I got every set left.
Yeah. I go, dude. I have like 100. Yeah. And And
dude, I have like 100.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, okay. And I go, why? He goes, well, I wanted to use that platform, but I'll just use this one. Another platform that was open.
Why? The same exact
And I go, oh, okay. And I put it in and I just sat down. And then he started putting plates like on the side of my platform. And I was like,
come on, bro.
Yeah, you hear my neck crack from all the stress.
Come on, bro. Yeah.
So whenever I was loading my plates, I threw all the plates off my platform. And I was just like, dude.
Damn, sounds like you're about to box this guy in the parking lot.
But it turns out that he was actually like admiring like how much that I was lifting. So I was just being an asshole.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. If there's a platform over that, that's just so funny.
Not only that, but dude, if there's like
if
there's over 315 on a deadlift bar,
leave it be.
Yeah, just
leave it be.
Go.
I agree.
Like,
yeah, I agree.
I guess if that's like the only deadlift platform, honestly, I think it would be okay to ask like if you can deadlift behind him.
Sure.
Like I feel like that's okay.
Yeah.
You don't need a whole platform to deadlift.
Yeah.
But there's literally
no. I would be annoyed if there was an open one right.
Oh, dude, there's 3.
Yeah.
At there's 4 platforms at Destination Dallas. There's 2 open.
Yeah.
And
he
wanted to ask.
Yeah. You think
like,
do you think it's just like almost like what's the word I'm looking for? Like he thinks he's strongest on that platform. Like that's the one. You know what I mean?
Maybe that would make the most sense.
Because I know people in the commercial gym that I'm at that will wait for a specific treadmill, even though they're all the same. They're the same brand, same.
That would make more sense.
I've used all of them. There's nothing different.
Yeah.
But like I don't get it. So I don't know if it's like I can't think of the word, but like when you're
just like a personal preference.
Yeah, but no, more like not a stigma, but what's the word I'm looking for? Like a superstition where it's like, oh, this is the platform that I'm strongest on. Mm-hmm. And you have ones that you prefer, sure, but like if there's 700 pounds in the bar and you're in the middle of a set, like come on, dude. Yeah, leave it be.
That's I literally have my ammonia and all of that out, like looking all crazy. But I was like,
no chance. Well, and I would even think that in a gym like Destination Dallas that people would be a little bit more cognizant of that. Like just aware of like, oh, there's 700 pounds in the bar. Maybe I should go to the next platform, Yeah,
and most of the people are like that. But a cool thing about Destination Dallas is most of the people know the people. And I've seen that dude, a couple times in the gym. So, maybe he just didn't think it was a big deal. Or, just didn't understand like, hey, dude.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
So
100%. Yeah. I'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for watching PTC Cast episode 5. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comments section below, and we'll get to it.
Don't know what that means, but.